What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, just wanted to go live, discuss, what VV NFTs are sleeping, what stacks you're making, what you're up to in the market, and essentially just trying to see, if we have enough momentum right now to really see if there's any, positive net changes that we can make on our stacks. My brother recently got the ultra rare uh Ilaz, the wood element, because he kept telling me that the secret rare was gonna pop, and it kept just going up and up and up. And he's like, dude, there's only 111. You can't get that. Get like stack up on the UR. Didn't do it, and then now we're seeing like almost a 2x return already. So there's still moves to be made despite the what people think. So there's still a lot of things that could happen, and that's kind of why I wanted to chat today with everybody to see if there's anything that you're noticing in the market, or anything that you wanted to kind of share and talk about, and just to kind of pick everybody's brains, and yeah, just start to make some good moves. So hope everyone is doing well. Oh damn, I got Dan Schwabel already in the chat. What is up, my man? It's pirate time. Move over, Johnny Depp. Chat is in the house. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Man, everybody's stacking Baba right now. I know. I've said that a few times. I just think for, the character that it is, it's pretty solid. Again, guys, never financial advice. We're just doing this to have fun and chat. But yeah, there's still so many opportunities on VV, and I just don't think that, enough people are giving it the time of day to really start to settle in and start thinking about what could be done. Justin says cargo pants ain't it. I could hear that. Dan says, "What do you think about this wild Disney Golden Moments lap with the two wishes drop?" Oh my god, I know, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because people keep saying that the Disney Golden Moments keep getting devalued in a sense because they keep making more and more of them. So I think over time they're gonna have to start to either leave them alone a little bit more, because man, if we have hundreds of these things at the end, it's going to be hard to kind of distinguish the value from the first ever set. So I think yeah, it's a lot going on, and I'm not sure what people are going to be doing tomorrow for the Star Trek drop, but from what I'm understanding so far, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are too interested. So yeah, that's crazy. Think about that. Only if Dan says only a few thousand people at most will ever have every golden moment. Yeah, let me check out the recent Twitter post from VV. I'm curious now. Curious to what's been developing here. Yeah. Oh my god. So we got the magic lamp from Walt Disney Animation Studios Aladdin. Includes an animated effect that grants original holder 2 wishes from VV. That's ridiculous. I wonder what wishes you can get from that, right? Wow. 10,000 editions for the uncommon, and the Disney D sign 10,000 editions. Holy damn. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, though. Look at that. That looks pretty damn crazy. Wow. Honestly, this is the crazy part, is that there's just so much still IP to be released. And that, like, this is my argument I keep having, is like, are we only ever kind of continue to go down because there's just going to be so many awesome NFTs, or this stuff is going to hold its value, right? Yeah, it does. I was looking at that here. Let me see. Dan says the Fantasia piece looks extraordinary. Yeah, let me see if I can actually show that off on the screen here quickly. I agree, Dan. It looks insane, man. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, so now you got all these holders of Mickey. I kind of wonder what they're going to think of this now, right? With Fantasia. Yeah. So if anybody hasn't seen that yet, look at this. Unbelievable. Like, if that water is animated as well, I could see this piece really being huge. And this is going to basically put to the test the whole first appearance argument as well. Because a lot of people are going to be like, well, this looks so insanely good. Like, why do I care so much about first appearance if I can get this cheaper, and the details and the graphics and everything are just as good, if not better? So I get people's perspectives. So Justin says, glad I sold mine for Spidey. Yeah. It said golden moment finale. I don't know if these are the last. All chat gaming. That'd be interesting if that's the case. Real talk. Any opinion which brand will be discontinued according to David's use AMA? Thanks. Well, hopefully it's not Disney. I mean, real talk. I mean, I'm not really too sure. I mean, we've had smaller brands in the past, um, discontinue. So I think like hopefully it's nothing. It could even I'm not sure exactly, but I would speculate on DC just because they're doing so much with other platforms as well. Octanone says, "Oh my God, no more golden moments. Just bought Winnie. FOMO is real now." Yeah, man, 100%. Disney's making crazy bucks off of Vivi with Marvel too, obviously. Yeah, man, they're making big money out there. I like the big ass screen chip, but no one is buying with that with Golden Moment Friday. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that they should have maybe reversed the order of that, right? Because I guess, like you said, I don't know how many people are going to be interested in a $120 green chip that is less familiar with 6,000 editions over the potential Fantasia piece, which looks amazing. So yeah, 100%. Wow. So these are the last golden moments. Vivi confirmed it in a comment on Twitter. Really? If that's the last golden moments, like this could be pretty extraordinary then, right? Because this Fantasia piece looks insane. Wow. I'm just trying to find some more info on it here that like I could share with everybody, but yeah, it looks insane. Like I said, if you haven't seen this yet, look at that. And it's animated, so and sound, so that's crazy. And it's cool too because it's an uncommon. So this is what I keep saying to everybody. Like Vivi's giving us all these insane opportunities right now because that in a bull market, like I think would be like, a very big seller. And now in a bear, it's kind of just like, oh, here's another 10,000 edition piece. And even though it might seem like a lot right now in the context of our group, I think like long term it's a big deal. The ship is joked. Yeah, my mom texted me actually. Let me see if I can find what my mom said to me. She hates the ship. It was actually pretty funny what she said. So I'll actually show it to everybody who cares. So yeah, so my mom sends me the ship and she's like, ew. And I was like, haha, you don't want it. She's like, looks like something you can pick your nose with. That's my mom. Metaverse Mango, happy to see you live. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's fun to do some lives. I'm not as good as some of the other people, but it is a lot of fun to do this stuff. Last golden moments, man. This is a big deal, guys. Last golden moments. Like we need more boomers for Star Trek to sell. Yes, 100%. I have to clean up on the golden moments. Thanks. Haha, indeed, more boomers needed. Metaverse Mango, do you think old golden moments are going to pump and dump or stay higher than they are now? Man, I think like, they're probably gonna have some people that were like that are smart that just take advantage of the market right now. They're gonna go buy up some golden moments, and then as soon as the hype kind of wears off, they'll sell them. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just kind of what I noticed in the market, how people react is like generally first, like so as soon as that VV tweet came out, people generally go to the market, they start to look for stuff like that, do a quick flip, and then the FOMO kind of dies down right away. But again, never financial advice, just kind of what I've observed in my time on VV. Dan, how cool is it, guys, that we got Dan Schwabel in here, man, the big dog himself. Thanks, buddy, for joining. I appreciate that. The quote unquote value prop for this golden moment drop is really solid. Smart. They're ending the golden moments. Critical to have these maintain collectability. It's like retiring the base set from a Pokemon or Alpha from the Magic Gathering. Yeah, this is a great point, Dan. I think a lot of concerns people have had in the past about the golden moments is that they're too abundant and they thought they were just going to keep releasing them and releasing them. So the fact that they're kind of ending them, now could make this a legendary set, especially for people like Danny BR who have like sub 100s of these things. So I think it's going to be pretty neat to see where it goes long term. Thanks for sharing all that, Dan. That was great. So I'm going to go back up a little bit. Metaverse Mango, do you think the old golden moments? Okay, so I answered that one. Real talk, exactly. Where be rewarded with early access to bull market will be crazy. 100%. Guys, I keep saying this, man. 2006 for Pokemon, right? It was the least interest Pokemon ever had was in 2006. They basically printed really scarce runs of cards. So you're talking like Rayquaza, Blackstar, Charizard, booster boxes like Deoxy X and all this different stuff. Anyways, all these cards now, like PSA 10s go for like, $30,000, $40,000. Booster boxes are like $80,000. And I feel like it's the same thing that VB's doing now is like a lot of people are fighting the project. A lot of people are pissed off. All this, there's no interruptibility. They're not real. Da 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 da. At the same time, they're dropping insanely low fucking mint runs on like the most prized collectibles in the world. Like AF-15 just dropped 10,000 editions. Like that's insane. Is the lamp and Walt the only two single set golden moments? I'd have to look more into that, but from what I can think off the top of my head, I think so. Um, Justin says like at least add some reflection to the ship or something to make it a little bit better. And Justin says lower the cost. I agree with that. I think it's a pretty high thing. And I just got off a live with my collectibles, and he said the same thing. Like it's a lot of money, $120. For 6,000 editions of a ship in this market sentiment that people know less about, you really got to be a collector to want to get that. And don't be wrong, like maybe they're just like looking to increase, items in the store as well. They talk about how everything doesn't need to be sold out right away. Yo, is the golden moments finish confirmed? I don't know. Like Octanon says that it was been confirmed on Twitter, so I haven't seen it. I don't want to say that I've seen that, but from what he's saying, I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? Imagine it is like that. But again, I haven't said that, but that's what people are saying in the chat right now. All chat gaming, big dog, fire. Thanks, bro. Didn't Alex already say last golden moment? I don't buy it. Yeah. You never want to be too sure and confirm these things without without knowing 100%. Oh, we got the Cray Mountain in here. What's up, my man? Alex tweeted that its golden moments are over. Wow. Oh man, you jumped on live after MC. Hell yeah. Your input is priceless, my dude. So rare to have OG people who have been through so many different market cycles. Thanks, Booski. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, the biggest thing is, guys, you got to remember last August, it was the same thing. Like people hated this. They were thinking like it wasn't going to go anywhere. Mind you, we didn't have a bear market last year, but a lot of people weren't into VV at that time. And then obviously, the story from November onwards, it started to fly, right? That's actually funny. Choo Choo says no more golden moments, but introducing Disney golden memories. They look exactly the same, but they're just not moments. Yeah, I hear you. Who knows, right? Yeah, who knows, man? Pokemon. Yeah, so everybody's saying like that Alex basically confirmed that this is the last Disney golden moment. It's crazy. The difference is this is branded Finale, so it's harder to walk it back. Like in the app, it says Finale for the set. That's a good point, Dan. I hear ya. There's going to be some different semantic issues around there. The Palace, Chad, what's up? He says the goat. Thanks, man. Disney silver moments. Imagine all of a sudden we get another thing, Disney silver moments. That'd be pretty funny. Doesn't mean last Disney in general. This is huge, like closing a set in Pokemon. Yeah, I think this is a big deal. Like maybe this is just, they're finishing it off, and it'd be pretty epic now for somebody to have like the whole lineup, especially if they had like some sub 100s and stuff as well. So pretty epic. I'm just trying to find Alex's tweet to confirm on the stream that this is actually the case. Let me just check out his tweet history here. Okay, so basically, if you get these wishes, I guess, from Vivi, you have to actually get the lamp on the drop. So somebody just kind of said to Alex, when you say holders are referring to have to hold all the first season golden moments or at least one of them. And Alex confirmed original holder of the lamp only, meaning only if you get the lamp on the drop. That's good. Wow. Okay, so here's his tweet. Okay, so yeah, so the other thing that we want to confirm on this as well is that David Yu was referring to, I guess, when he was talking about the D, it's Disney Golden Moments. And Alex confirmed on a tweet, he says, Golden Moment Finale, yes, Finale. Original holders get both wishes, quote unquote. And yes, this is the D that everybody was talking about from David Yu. So here it is. This is the official tweet from Alex. Can you see that okay? It's probably backwards, but if you reverse the screen, you can see it. So that's actually pretty sweet. All right, man. So let's get some comments. Does this mean VV is not dead anymore, Mr. Locknet? I don't think VV would ever died off. I mean, I think there was just fewer people involved and fewer people that were pissed off and fewer people that had the confidence to stick it through long term. But I think like long term, this is I think this is going to be a huge deal, and I just don't understand how it could not be. We're going into the world of the advanced digital technology. We're entering the metaverse. All these things, these collectibles that we have in the real world, if we're transitioning to a metaverse, would likely need to be somewhere there. And VV has the first of all of them, and they're first to come out. So I think there's, I don't like. I think VV is dead is more like um fear tactics and stuff like that. But I mean, there's a lot of people that are even not even in this for the ROI. They're in this for the collectability. They're in this for the community. So there's way more different subgroups as well, that we're not thinking about, right? So Pusky says, I joined on July 4th last year, was not connected to social media. So it's just a dude buying cheap NFTs from Marvel and DC. I feel like this is the similar time before VV starts to pump out bullish things. Yeah, man. My brother and I just like had another conversation about this recently, because we were saying, like, if VV starts to pump again and things start to fly, like what moves are we going to be making? Like, how are we going to be stacking all that stuff, right? Because as we remember last August, had Marvel One come out for $2 a pop. You could have literally bought like 150 Marvel Ones for $300. I mean, they went to 800 on the all-time high. So these are just, think about how many people had the wherewithal to like just buy, let's just say 500 Marvel Ones and then sell them all in the peak. You would have literally made $500,000, which is just wild, right? So some people did that, man. Like that's a true thing that happened on VV. And then maybe they waited for the MTL and then cashed out. So yeah, and I'll never forget that. Like overnight, over a few months, all of a sudden, like the Marvel One SR was at 50 grand, and it started off at like 1.2K. So yeah, never forget. Alexander Jaramillo, Spider-Man Comic 300, rare or common cover. Prices seem to be very close. So for me, just objectively, just because there's fewer editions, for me, I'd always go for the rare. I just think that a lot of people like the common cover just because it resembles the original and it's more familiar. But I think if you're just talking pure edition count, I mean, it would always make sense for me to go for the rare. Uncommon, it's kind of close to the common in terms of edition sizes. So I would probably just rather have the common because you're kind of getting that again original cover. But I think if it was between a common and a rare, I would likely go for a rare. Not to say that other people should do the same, but that would just be more my strategy. Perfect timing for lamp announcement. Yeah, I got to read more into this lamp announcement. This is hilarious. That like I just I didn't even know I just wanted to do a live. I didn't realize this was going to happen. So yeah, this is wild. I might actually like want to read it to everybody here. I would go for rare. Yeah, so Octanone agrees with me. He said I would go for rare, way less editions, and it looks really cool. Yeah, me too. Marvel ones at $3. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that happened. Palace says never forget. Hashtag 100%, dude. All chat gaming. No one made that mistake after that law. People went ham on stamps because of that. Yeah, they almost went too hard on the stamps. They thought they were going to relive a dream. Bill Gardner, this lamp granting wishing reminds me of the idea when Gauntlet comes, you can snap fingers to get a previous drop. That'd be pretty slick. Imagine you land the lamp, you snap your fingers, you're like, okay, I want Dr. Profit's all his one of ones, and then I also want all of the AF-15s available. I mean, what kind of wishes are we looking at here? What's the confines? I feel like VV needs to, give more information on this here. No Pinocchio drop though. Weird. Yeah, true. I've left VV for 6 or 7 months now in the sidelines and mainly trading ENS and active on OpenSea. Nice, dude. There are whales on the sidelines trying to ape in once there's interoperability. Yeah, I agree with that. I think like, once we have that crypto to gems and, once like an AF-15 comic can be displayed in some kind of metaverse, I think people will be freaking out. Bill Gardner, remember they held back on every drop. Yes, that's a good point. Snare, until that comes, VV is truly dead. Respectfully, laugh out loud. Well, agree to disagree, man, but I'm always happy to have, different opinions in here. And I think like there's still like, man, like you might say V is dead, but like, imagine if you got an AF-15 SR on the drop in literally the height of the bear market. I mean, you would have made like 15 to $20,000 like US. That'd be like 23,000 Canadian. My money. You can go buy a car with that. So as much as we want to say, VV is dead, there's still so many crazy opportunities. Like it's, yeah, sure, it's a bit of a lottery, but it's better than, trying a lottery with 35 million people in your country or 340 million in the States. So I think there's, I think this success ratio is pretty high. I'm going to go back and read some more. The wishes are in the Medium article. Okay, so it says the wishes are in the Medium article. So let's read this. So, in honor of Disney Plus Day, we are celebrating the culmination of our very first collection by offering the Magic Land from Walt and Disney Animation Studios, Aladdin. This signature symbol of dreams and wishes is made even more enchanting with an animated effects that grants the original holder two special wishes from Vivi. Wish one, okay, so I'm actually going to read the wishes here. Wish one unlocks one Disney D NFT for the original Magic Lamp from Aladdin holder on 9/9/22. So September 9th, 2022. Wow, that's pretty sick. And wish to a promo code providing a reservations for 7 days to purchase the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey NFT scheduled to release in September 22. Damn, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty solid, man. There's some good, and it looks actually pretty cool. Like I don't know if that's animated or not, but like I don't think it is actually. It would have specified, but I mean that's a pretty cool little effect with the actual like incense or whatever that's coming out of the lamp. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading this, man. The palace. Will Smith squeezes out of the bottle and stops you as part of the animation. Yeah, you know what? Who knows, man? Let's just get crazy with it, right? Um, Snare says Disney ending product line has to be the most bullish things I've ever heard in a year. That's actually got me hyped. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, you think that there's just like a big roller coaster and they're just going to keep pumping it out, but hey, man, this looks like they're actually going to start stopping with this stuff. So it's cool. Pusky says, I would go for anything under drop price. If ROI is your number one, take the easiest bet. Yeah, I agree with that. Golden moments exploded. Market crazy. Is it actually crazy right now? This is the whole thing that I'm saying. This is so funny with golden moments. Now everybody's like, oh, we got to get. But see, this is what I'm saying. There's actually people that think that they need to get the golden moments, and then there's people that are just taking advantage of the market. It's so funny how that works. And like I said to you guys before, like as soon as like that information gets dropped, people run and they're like, okay, let me buy up some golden moments, and then watch this. They're gonna flip some stuff, and then it's gonna go back down. People kill me, man. But it's good to be like part of these conversations because like a lot of people don't know that, right? They don't know how the market works. They don't know crypto very well, so they just go in thinking like, oh my god, the golden moments are going to go to the moon, and then they like buy in at the high while somebody else is dumping it, and then it like goes back to kind of decent levels, right? Bill says I missed AF15 on the drop. Hopefully I can make it up with the lamp. Yeah, dude. Same with me, man. I missed it completely. It did suck, but yeah, hopefully you can. Snare says I have a few dudes I chill with in VC with daily that own punks, and they are genuinely interested in aping. There needs to be IMX integration at some point to attract anybody. NFT ethos, please. Yeah, dude. I think these are all like really good points. It's nice to see that like at least people are interested and they just really want that integration, and they want that interoperability. So like you said, like we're only a few steps away from really this thing potentially going crazy, right? Florist movie says Vivi isn't dead. Crypto and NFTs are dead at the moment. When the bull market comes back, Vivi will not be left behind. Well said, man. There's the larger market sentiment, is kind of really directing what's going on as well in all these different projects. So I agree. That's a really good point. Uh, I SR Spider Man might have sold for 10.2K. Nice. Look at the other two NFTs. Octonone says bought Winnie Golden Moment for 117 1 minute after the tweet floor is already 170. Yeah, this is my point, man. It's so funny. And then like watch people are gonna dump now. Yeah. So what are people buying? Are you guys buying anything? I'm just like kind of like scouring the market right now, seeing what people are doing. Justin says this is the first drop with an animated plus SFX badge instead of the traditional animated badge. Why did they add SFX law? True. Maybe it's just because is that just like mean like the sound and the animation, I guess. Maybe I'm like wondering why that wouldn't happen on the Steamboat, right? 10K mint sounds high. Yeah, I mean it does sound high, but I think it's just because they know this is going to be a big hitter and they want everybody to kind of have one. So maybe like because it's kind of like the Walt opened things up and now this guy's closing her down, right? Joe 3 Point says nice animation on lamp smoke seen on web app. Okay, sick. That's good. NFTT says what's up, OG? What's up, man? Thanks for being here, bro. Disney said, "Turn up the money machine," but haha, yeah, 100%. Why not? Right? We're all gonna buy it anyways. I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, "Let's light these fuckers up. Let's send out another drop and get these guys to buy." Why not? Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy now, like seeing like I'm just watching the market for the golden moments, and yeah, man, things are already picking up. I'm just gonna actually go to the golden moments just to see what's going on in there and start like reading some prices out for everybody. It's just amazing. Like I was just like going into the brands. I'm like, now Disney has so many things. Okay, so C3PO is at 498 right now. The Avengers logo 320, Chippendale 200, Cogsworth 102. Looks like it didn't really do too much there. Daisy and Daffy 185, Elsa 465, Iron Man 345. And remember, guys, these are all like gone up pretty much like $100. Yeah, Homer and Bart 289 because now people are like, oh, it's the last time I can buy it. Lady and the Tramp 169, Mickey Sorcerer hat. I almost bought a Mickey Sorcerer for like 4 something the other day, and now it's 669. Like, look at that. It's crazy what like a market can do. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. That's like the floor right now. Wow. Let's see what Partners is. There we go. Partners is already back up 5.2. It was like 4.4 earlier today. Yeah, I think I screwed up. Kurt, did I say Daisy and Daffy? Here, let me that's my bad, man. Let me just let me just make sure. Yeah, I said Daisy and Daffy. I meant to say Donald and Daisy. So that's my bad, everybody. All right. Don't quote me on that one. Man, that's crazy though. I'll see what R2's at. Oh, R2 was at like 7 something the other day. Now it's 9.99. Crazy. Yeah, people are all good. I'm like, yeah, it's so funny. Skateboard Bart Skateboard 234. Wow. It's just crazy. So like that's a perfect example, right? Like if you're smart and you see that, like, I think it could be too late now, like for people that are hyping in now, like there might be a few things that continue to rise, but like you got to get in like the moment that tweet is dropped, right? That's where people do well. Like they like kind of notice it right away. They go in, and then the next person 5 minutes later thinks they're early, but they actually bought in at the hype. That's the fun part. It's kind of like I said, a crooked casino. You never know what you're gonna land. Justin says, "Dang, Iron Man has a lot of mints." Yeah, it does have a lot of mints, man. Like 12,000 plus mints. Like that's a lot. Thinking like Boba Fett has 6,000, right? And it's animated. You know what I mean? It's just like something to think about. You're paying like probably 3 times the price for Iron Man right now. Bill Gardner says, "Interesting. No comics this week." Yeah, that is interesting. Octonone C3PO was 380 an hour ago. Yep. Was waiting for R2 to hit 699, and now it's 1,000. Yeah, man. I mean, nobody could predict these things. It's hard, right? When a tweet like that comes out, like it's difficult. I think the golden moments will even go higher after the lamp has dropped. Okay, that's cool. So Flores kind of thinks the opposite of me. He thinks that the rise and all the golden moments are just going to continue to kind of go up a little bit after the lamp has dropped, because people are kind of saying like, this is the end kind of thing. So yeah, that's actually smart. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many things like so. For instance, like everybody's turning their attention right now to the golden moment. So I think, in my opinion, like for me, that kind of the train has left on that now. Like in terms of trying to like buy in and chase the hype. And I don't get me wrong. Like I think it's an amazing set and everything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm always just looking for like what's the next thing that pops. For instance, like if they like release those Star Wars um collectibles, right? Let's say, okay, so just hear me out for a second. Let's say they release Boba Fett's ship, okay, in the next 2 weeks, then the same thing's going to happen to Boba Fett, right? It's going to everyone, oh, I need to get the matching, whatever. So it's just being kind of ahead of the game. I agree. I think the pump will continue for a while, such thin floors. Okay, so VV Virgin agrees as well. With what Flores says, that like the floors are real thin, so they think like the pump can still continue. Holy shit, that was my dog that scared the shit out of me. You guys hear that? I just jumped on camera. Um, yeah, could you see the Disney logo being second to Walt from what Disney fans would want? I don't know, man. I mean, that's a good question for Kurt asked a really good question with the Disney logo. Like for me, it's like kind of out of sight right now, but if you think about it, you're right. That's a big deal because that could also represent all of Disney. But what I would say is like we also had the Avengers logo come out, and that really didn't do too well. Like you know what I mean? But again, that wasn't like a Marvel logo. That was an Avengers logo. So yeah, it could be like a really underrated thing. Who knows? Real Talk says this is why I don't sell because just one announcement and a bear market can send prices into the stratosphere. Are discontinuations more important than drops? Yeah. So like for instance, like in Pokemon card collecting, like as soon as they discontinued like a card or like a different type of series, like they would obviously like be more sought after because you're realizing it's like the end of a kind of an event as everybody thought that Disney could have just continued onwards, right? Like and just kept pumping more and more golden moments. So yeah, so let's just go back in. I'm just gonna check out where we're at with everything. So like let's see the Pizza Planet truck, 399. Yeah, Iron Man 350 still. Donald Duck and Daisy Duck 173. Wow, crazy, right? Lady and the Tramp 157. I want to see what Walt's at. I just always get like now I feel like people that don't have Walt are gonna freak out and be like, oh, I need to get my Walt before it's all over. So let's see what Walt's at, guys. I think I said 5.2 or 5.3 last. Let's see what the hat's at too. 690 the hat's at. So it already went up. Remember I showed you 666 the last one. And Walt's okay. Walt's still at 5.2. R2 still 999. So yeah, things are around the same. Yeah, sorry about that. My dog scared the shit out of me there. Holy. Okay, Zena, relax. She did it again. Um, yeah, like I think that's a good point. I just want to kind of like echo back what Real Talk said about this why I don't sell just because one announcement in a bear market can send prices up. It's so true. Like if like if you're in here for the long haul or if you're just like smart about it, you never want to sell it on a down cycle. So it's just like perfect example of like just being smart and holding on to your stuff, right? Bill says, I've been buying posters on the cheap that everyone has forgot about, continue to buy rare comics. Good for you, man. And I think that'll also pay off when MCP comes around as well. Cause like a lot of people kind of want to ape back into those because I still think you get some decent points. So Justin, a whole lot of Mickeys. Yeah, man. There'll probably be like hundreds in the future and there'll probably be thousands in 10 plus years from now when, NFTs all become a super crazy thing. Varying viewpoint, Karazama is flooding the market with AF15 common 50 plus. Damn. That's a lot. Dan says the value is less about the lamp or the Disney sign and more about the completion of all the golden moments set that will be retired after this drop. Dan, that's a really, really good point. And I think Dan mentioned this earlier as well that there's only going to be like something like a few thousand people that will have all the Disney golden moments. And who knows what that means like long term, right? Like maybe that, we always talked about like utility coming to Walt or something like that, where maybe the utility will only come to people that hold them all because it really shows like who's a real true Disney fan. So I think that's a great point that Dan brings up because it's like you said, it's about the discontinuation. And so maybe people now are just like, let me get my hands on all of them while I still can. So yeah, Justin says Walt went up a K. It's insane, eh? I figured, man. Well, Walt was pretty low there. It was like 4.2 or something, 4.3. Oh shit, we got the Gale in the house. What is up, my man? He just says BB is shaking it up. Yes, sir, with the little dab emoji. Yes, sir, they are. They're always screwing with us. Hey, we never know what's going on with these guys, but that's part of the fun, man. So all chat gaming says, so crazy, no more golden moments. I was so close to finishing the set. Walt and R2 laugh out loud. AG says Todd versus UR Vader. Man, as much as I love Todd, I think UR Vader in a bull run would just be insane just because of the crypto people, because it's Star Wars, because it's the first collectible of Vader on the blockchain. And as much as Batman is really insane as well, we just have so many Batmans to pick from. So I think they could get diluted. And Rizzo's also part of that first ever set. But that being said, I'm not saying that Todd's not going to be worth 10K plus again. It's possible. But I just think like that UR Vader it was kind of came out like in a bear market too, so less people stacked it. I think if it came out in a bull, you would have had a higher floor, and then less people would have wanted to get rid of it. That's just my opinion. All chat gaming, so crazy, no more golden moments. I was so close to finishing the set. All I needed was Walt and R2. Dude, that's too bad, man. Well, hey, you'll still get it, man. Just keep pumping away and be determined on what you want to get. World the stage, get out of here, greedy Dan. Justin, Walt up. Walt up a G bar. Yeah, 100%. Kurt, what if they decide to do a third wish? Usually there are three wishes, and owners of all golden moments actually do get a golden Disney castle like we always wanted. Man, you imagine if only people that had all the NFTs completed for the Disney Golden Moment set got a friggin' Disney castle made out of gold that you can like blow up and walk through and stuff. That would be insane. And imagine if it was like animated on top of that. Wow. Yeah, Rupak says Winnie is the most undervalued golden moment. Yeah, I think like that. Like it is. What is it? I think it's the third biggest industry or something like that for fictional characters. I think it's like Mickey and Friends is one of the big ones. Winnie the Pooh, I think, is third. So and Pokemon's the first. So yeah, it's a big one, man. The Alchemist, thinking in the big number theory, how many more grails will VV drop? Would it be better strategy to save gems for those grails instead of buying grails today? Okay, so if you want to think about grails, like think about all the things that could be potential. So I'm just going to throw it at you right now. What if they have a Millennium Falcon, 7 out of 7, right? Editions, that would be another grail for Star Wars. Then all of a sudden they come out with like, Harry Potter limited to 100 editions. Then all of a sudden you have Voldemort limited to 72 editions. Then you have, maybe a new comics like Detective Comics #1 coming out for 1,000. Like there's so many things that they could come out with that would be super popular and scarce and would just like completely blow out of the water everything that we've been thinking about currently, right? And you even see it with that Fantasia Mickey, like despite it maybe not being super I guess scarce, it looks unbelievable. Like I'm gonna want that just for the long-term hold, right? So yeah, it's a good question. I think these are questions people should just continue to ask themselves, like what grails could be coming. Florist movies. I'm glad VV don't milk out the golden moments. This sets a limit on the golden moments, and when the bull market comes back, golden moment will be popular and rare. And yeah, and all the influencers, including myself, will talk about the golden moments and be like, "Hey, this was like a once in a history thing, once in a lifetime thing," and with all these crazy IP, right? Like, I mean, so I think it'd be cool. Gail, my God, bro. Yes, sir. Gail says, "Sup, fam." Dan Schwabel, the lamp has 2 wishes, but in the movie you get 3 wishes. So maybe the third wish is an airdrop you get if you have all of the golden moments set completed. Yeah, I think somebody else alluded to that as well. That is so sick. I mean, and I think that's a great point that you make. Like that would be crazy if that's the case. And man, what an opportunity, right? It's so cool. I'm so glad I did this live stream right at the same time that article came out. AG, why do some people complain about the mint numbers? Aren't we looking at the bigger picture when we have 5, 10, 50 million people on the app? Those mint numbers will be peanuts. Yeah, man. I agree. Like those mint, like that's why I don't think people understand how crazy it is that AF15 came out with 225 editions as the SR. Like name a comic collector in the world that wouldn't be wanting an AF15 comic. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. So this is like the point that I'm trying to make is that like, yeah, we're in a downward trend right now. People are fudding, people are getting out, and like somebody said the most amazing tweet to me. They're like, people want to be early until they are early. And what I'm telling you guys is you're all super early. But the thing is that do you have the capacity to see this out and to stick through it? And like, it may take a few years before we really kind of get out of this cycle again. But I think this is the future, man. Yeah, G King says, Chad the Goat, what's up, bro? Thanks, man. Thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate that. Vivi Virgin, I got my hands on Donald yesterday. Luckily, then right after tweet finished set with Lady and Tramp, had to get a Pooh and Elsa, just no brainers. Now I'm set. Sick, man. Congrats. That's great. So Vivi tweeted there only be 2 wishes and not 3. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe a surprise is coming. I never know with these guys anymore. VV Virgin, but 3 wishes makes sense, and it could very possibly be a hidden Easter egg. Yeah, this is why we got to do our digging. I think there were some Easter eggs, remember, on Elsa's. Oh, shoot. This is another thing we got to bring up because remember back in the day, Elsa had like that fountain pen or whatever on her foot. And then the partner statue, I think it was like they had to use like Mickey Mouse or something, with the hat to like basically, oh no, this is what it was. It was the sculptor for the partner statue, I think, had to use the hand from Fantasia, like the hand that Mickey Mouse had from Fantasia, to be able to sculpt something in 3D. And then the sculptor's pen was on the bottom of Elsa's shoe. I think that was like the connection. I don't know if that was a bit of a stretch, but people were trying to like understand what connection there was. And I wonder if we can make more connections. And the fact that they're ending it, maybe this is all going to start making sense now. So who the heck knows the story that could play out here? It could be pretty fucking epic, man. Chris Kojin, a Banksy would blow everything out of the water. 100%, man. That'd be amazing. Justin, AG, they're comparing mint numbers to other drops. Chasing Sundays, Pooh will be okay, but the downside of it is that most people aren't going to buy a golden moment for their baby, and that's what most of the Pooh merchandise purchases are. I feel like doesn't translate to VV. I think this is a wicked point that Chasing Sundays makes, is that you have to think about your like tiered audience, right? Like if you look at like the VV app right now, if you look at like the demographic, I would presume, just based on my YouTube analytics, that like the majority of people are like 18 to 55-year-old men that are like super into like Star Wars and things like that, right? And are all these guys going to want Pooh despite like the market value in a big way? And maybe one day we'll get there, but I think that's like a good point. Justin, there's like 70K base C or something. What will 1000 FA Spider-Man cost? Yeah. Like, I mean, dude, like if it gets out there, if it's interoperable, if all these things happen and there's enough community hype to say that these things are super important, then yeah, it could be really expensive. The only thing I'm going to say is that there's 10,000 base C, right? So there's 10,000 bored apes and their like high was 300K. So like even, and you have to think that's like all the money in the world almost involved in that stuff. Like there's Eminem, there's celebrities, there's rich people, there's like princes from Dubai, there's all these millionaire investors all in base C. And like, and I'm not saying that 300K is a low floor, that's really high, but you got to think like, when some people think like AF15 is going to have like a floor of like a mil, that I just don't think that's feasible. Maybe the SR would, but like you got to start. And then there's so many things to choose from. So like you got to think like the community, there's got to be so much demand from the community. And then the item has to be exceptionally popular. That's why I think like SR Spidey still makes sense in my head, because I'm like, it's, the first appearance of Spider-Man, is the first Marvel NFT. It's the most popular superhero in the world in 58 countries. And then if you have the demand, all of this crazy demand from celebrities, et cetera, all pushing in to get this first ever NFT, then it could be big, right? So that's what you got to keep thinking about, is like maybe for the comic books, it's big now, but it's also a more of a niche market. It's not everyone that would want a comic book as maybe everyone wants a Spider-Man. I don't know. We're going to have to see how it plays out. Phoebe Virgin, Elsa's foot. Yeah. Yeah. You remember that on Elsa's foot? Yeah. And just as you got to find buyers too. Yeah. There's all those things, And Bill says, yeah, 2 wishes doesn't make sense. Should be 3. So who knows? There might be a third wish, guys, as well. And Altrack Gaming says, yeah, so many different strategies. Yeah, there's not one way to skin a cat, man. There's so many things that we could be doing, moves you can be making. And I've seen people do, make moves that makes a lot of money off of like, big purchase items of like just the best of the best stuff, and other people that like stack really, normal, common, boring things and did really well. So yeah, Florist movies. He says, so the wishes will only be granted to the people who will be lucky enough to get them on the drop. That's right. So only if you get it on the drop can you make the wish. Octanone, holding Ultraman secret rares for at least 4 to 5 years. If Japan joins this thing, we'll fly. First classic Ultraman, first 2D collectible on VV, first secret rare. That's pretty sick. Yeah. And they're cheap right now, right? Like it's like I think they're like $130 or something. Population is plummeting, Justin. True. Real talk, which country is the most rapid NFT population? Rabid NFT population? I mean, I don't know. I think I've definitely presumed the States right now with all the stuff that you guys are doing in crypto and all the companies that have been started. But I think, there's a lot of regulations and stuff in China. But I think, if we have more adaptability, or sorry, more adoptability all across the world, then we could see a lot more, amazing things happens for NFTs. Michael Diggs, Banksy is totally against everything VV stands for, which I think he assumes like is like centralization, all that. He would never be on an app with Disney. I gotta respect Michael. I think, there's a lot of people that still are really on the decentralization train, that believe in interoperability, that believe that you should be able to take out that artwork and, do whatever you want with it. So I think but who knows, man? It's still possible. I'm hopeful that this guy comes, our friend Cause, that'd be so sick. These are like my favorite collectibles. I got a lot of shirts from them, and I just think there's something about this brand that just, I don't know, it speaks volumes. And really, well, they did really well too in like the rap culture and everything. And so yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and then All Chat Gaming says, and the drop is only $40. This is why they said make sure you KYC. Yeah, man, like that's pretty sweet, right? That they like, kind of made everybody KYC, and now there's like more opportunities. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go on a drop, like things are easier to get. I still don't land every one, but it's definitely easier. Michael Diggs says Ultraman will skyrocket. Justin says, and DC and Marvel never share platforms. Chris Kojin says price prediction for both golden moments. That SR Mickey looks sick too. I've got to um I've got to do more research before I can just like make a price prediction like that, because I've got to like look at the edition sizes, what it does. I want to do like market research on Aladdin and like all that stuff, and like what like this Disney sign might mean. There's somebody that said that like the Disney sign actually might be a bigger deal than people think, because it's kind of encompassing all of Disney potentially as well. So that's kind of interesting, right? But yeah, man, this is pretty sweet. Like this is exciting. But I think the biggest thing for me is this Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. It just looks so crazy. Like it looks like it would be the coolest thing to have in augmented reality. So, like I said, there's gonna be people that like will want to just collect like Mickey Mouse stuff. And I think this is what Vivi's trying to say, is that you're gonna start having to pick a lane and a direction unless you're a whale. Like, I mean, you got Dr. Profit in here, he can do whatever he wants, but normal people like myself got to start picking and choosing what I think would do the best for me long term. So yeah, I really think this is cool, man. I'm just trying to read a little bit more here about like the Disney parks and stuff. Let me just read this Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. Released in 1940, Walt Disney Animation Studios' Fantasia is a groundbreaking triumph that blends music and animation to whimsical stories and adventures. For this series, we're celebrating one of our favorites from the film, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. In The Sorcerer's Apprentice, we follow Mickey Mouse as he discovers magical powers while apprenticing for a sorcerer named Yen Sid. Mickey soon realizes that making magic is harder than it looks. So this is what I'm trying to say, is like I wonder if this kind of connects with the Mickey Sorcerer hat, because you got Fantasia here going on the movie, and then him doing all the stuff, and then you got the Mickey Sorcerer hat, and it just like makes you wonder like what the connection could be, right? Or if this is just like a random thing. But I don't know. I always think about that stuff. What's the connection? Yeah, cause is sick. I agree, Michael. It's so sick, man. Um, I would love to see scenes graffiti on the app. Yeah, graffiti would be pretty sick too, and like just more artists on that regard. That ship be picking up alien noses. I don't know. Sorry, Jess. I don't know what you're trying to say there, my man. Uh, AG says, are you only focused on VV and Omi, or are you into different projects? Oh man, I'm into a ton of different projects. Um, I've got a few different things that I do on the side as well. But yeah, spatial, like I was just looking at that with actually my collectibles recently, like the metaverse, how you can like actually, showcase your artwork and like create projects and stuff like that. I'm big into gaming as well, and play to earn NFTs. Like, everybody knows like Axie Infinity, but Wizardia is another big one that I'm looking at right now. And all play to earn games I think will be huge long term. And somebody said that like, there's some just like one game alone, like for instance, like Grand Theft Auto, just the amount of users for that. If you just brought that one game to NFTs, there'd be more people just from that one game than there is for all of like NFT craze, right? So it's like that's the thing I keep thinking about, is like, hey, that's probably going to be the future when you're gonna have like roadblocks and skins and Fortnite and that kind of stuff, is where I think like the NFTs are really gonna go nuts. Banksy might come through Metacom, but if you check the price of the physical item, it sells for $1,500 for only 300 editions. Price on VV will be crazy, but I think people get burned with this one. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, Bear Brick would be sick. Like imagine Bear Bricks in this, man. Yeah, they're pretty cool too. Like I almost bought another one the other day. I have like just a smaller one, but I want to get one of the big boys. But the like some of the time I look at them, they just look like cheap, and other ones that like I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of some. Others look super cool. Like the Nike one I saw recently was like 10K. There's a lot of cool things. Have you got into cryptocurrencies or sorry, Carnocopias on Cardano? No, I haven't, Bill. I haven't, man. Michael Dick says it's from the book Sorcerer Hat is in Mickey's head, and I think the book was Fantasia. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool connection. Yeah, if anybody wants to know that connection there, you can read what Michael just said. Justin says we need to be able to see previous owners on collectibles. That's a huge feature of being on a blockchain. Yeah. And I think we talked about this before as well, is that like original owners of different NFTs, like once you have that metadata and you can actually like trace and locate what people have been doing, then I could really see like that true original ownership being worth even more instead of having like this messy blockchain data that goes through like 6 or 7 people. It'd be so cool to be like an original owner and sell it off, just like you would with a car, right? If you go through a car ownership through like 7 people, it gets messy. But if you've bought it from the original owner, it's generally pretty cool. Florist Movie says digital collectibles are really cool, but isn't anyone scared VV hypothetically get hacked and its NFTs get stolen, or will be VV able to retrieve them because VV has all the power over the NFTs at the moment? Yeah, I think there's, anything is possible. I think that's the issue with like centralization. Is no different than like your bank, as an example, like losing all its money and then, like going bankrupt or whatever. But I think the chance of it happening is rare. I'm sure they have like, good security grids. And I think even with decentralization, there's a lot of people that get scammed. You hear about people with Bored Apes all the time, like they were about to sell it and then they got scammed. So I think, despite having centralization or decentralization, I think there's a risk for everything. But yeah, for sure. I mean, like only being on the app, it does suck. Like I would love to have my NFTs in cold storage, where nobody can touch them, despite what happens. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to do this quick live and just to see, what else is sleeping. So, for me, I just keep thinking to myself, like we have like all these crazy opportunities on VV still, especially with the comics. Like I was just looking up like Fantastic Four #1 the other day and how like, it could sell for millions of dollars. And yet here on the app, it's like a few $1,000s. And it's just like, these are the types of like connections I'm trying to make and not necessarily always focusing on like the community hype and the shiny new toy, but really making like empirical conclusions on what something is worth in the real world and what it could be worth in the digital realm, and then seeing if I can get into those things like earlier than later, and then just holding on for the long term, because I think over time we are going to see a lot of stuff. All Chat Gaming says, I think they've been able to get back stolen NFTs that are minted or were sent back to the OG owner, but pretty sure they're working on bridge of security, and that's what's talking about interoperability. Yeah, that's a good point. Ryan Rips, love the content, bro. Wanted to drop an unpopular opinion, but it's from the well. VV has to adopt interoperability. I mod for an alpha group over 12K people. Whales in there won't touch until then. Yeah, Ryan, bro, keep it real, man. I think you're right. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say like there's a lot of whales that are like, listen, I only want to buy with ETH. I only want to buy when it's in my wallet. They don't want to just like ape into something like this because I see it as like an app. Or so I get the hesitancy, and I get why people with like a lot of money would want to, wait to make big purchases. But we're hoping that maybe as time continues to develop and as the market gets more competitive, that those are maybe things that are going to be implemented. And we got crypto to gems coming, and then so there's some things like on the way, and then who knows if we can burn our collectibles for OMI eventually. So I think there's going to be some other incentives. But I agree in terms of mass adoption, getting the celebrities in, getting the rich people in, I think that'll be a big component. Yeah, Justin says the word is getting out. Michael Dick says, whatever you do, guys, don't buy a blue Elizala for 4.5K. Is it a trap? I think people love scarcity. They love to flex, and and I think there's also some hype around it as well. So we'll see. Chris Kojin says, in other news, David, you let slip to my misses that there's a new Tokidoki drop soon. We're at Decon. Not as exciting as these golden moments, though. Awesome content, dude. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, man. And that's good to know too, right? So if there is a new Tokidoki drop, then like just like what you saw in the golden moments, like you go buy the UR and then you wait for the announcement. Like not financial advice, but like this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, right? Is it's just being smart and thinking ahead if because it's fun. That is the part of this that is fun about VV. It's not just about collecting, it's not just about having these things. It's about flipping, it's about doing all this stuff. It's like a whole moving entity and everybody plays a part in it. So Again, never financial advice, but yes, I hear you, man. 2.9K at Michael Diggs. Okay, so maybe Justin, I think it was maybe 4.5, and maybe somebody lowered it or something. Michael Diggs says I bought Jermaine Rogers bunnies for 2K and it dropped to 400, just trying to save people. VV Virgin, David said that in person AMA that a series will be ending soon. Well, cool. Obviously, golden moments, and right after he said there will be added utility to that series. What do we think? Holy shit! Are you serious? Like he said that to you in the like? So think about it. If there's added utility to that series, like anybody that's holding on to it right now, like may actually do really well for the long run. So that's pretty damn cool, right? Chris says already done. Wow. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. So yeah, you're a smart guy. You're already making the moves. VV Omi, what do you think about partners floor at the moment? Is it a buy now that there will be no more golden moments? Let me check out partners floor. What was it? It was 5.2 last time I checked. It like if I said if I only can get one Disney golden moment, 100% it's going to be partners, man. I think I've said this before. Like I always thought that potentially partners gets you into the theme park, and then like everything else maybe like gets you to these different sections, but like that's the thing. Like we like to speculate, but at the same time it could be happening because like why would David you say something that's shocking, man? That would be crazy if that's the case. Wow. I actually bought one of those Disney signs, by the way. Okay, yeah. It's still the same. It's 5.2. So it's been an hour and it's been sitting there. So looks like people got a little bit of time, but I think it was like 4.4. But yeah, if there's added utility, and like I said, comics and crypto always talks about added utility. This is Disney, guys. This is not like your local barbershop, right? This is fucking Disney. This is like a 200 plus $1 billion industry. So if they want to make utility and they want to say everybody with the Disney Golden Moment statue gets a discount or comes in for free, it's going to happen. So it's just like this is the kind of thing that is potential, right? But utility, like if they have utility like this, man, this is crazy. Justin says more Disney subscriptions. Yeah, exactly. Get Prime access to a movie before it comes out. No, that would suck. Um, yeah. So like partners lore for me, like put it this way: if you're buying in at 4K, 5K, 3.5K, 6K, I think the potential where it can go is huge. So that's kind of like, especially now that I know that this set is ending, so you might not see another partners. I think it's a big deal. VV Virgin says, no, watch Superstar Money's video from yesterday and listen to David speak. Okay, I will. So you're like what you said. So just wanted to clarify. You're just like making, I guess, like an interpretation of what you thought he kind of said, right? Real talk, are you still bullish on the Jim Lee Nightwing? Yeah. So I'm bullish on Nightwing long term. So I'll tell you why. Because there's 100 collectibles in the black and white series, and there's only one Nightwing that comes in all of them. It's the FA. And when you get more and more people on the app and people want to collect that whole black and white series, then what's going to happen is that, whoever doesn't have Nightwing, it's going to be hard to get because obviously it's the one and only of that entire set. So people can kind of manipulate the floors kind of thing, and hold on to it. And it's also like a super sick OG collectible. And for me, like it just means a lot about what happened back in the day. Just that it was like one of my first drops that I came to. So I think it's possible it has its day again, but it could be a long time from now. What do you think about the VV logo? Man, I'm telling you right now, that VV logo to me is huge. I've got one. I bought one because the way that I see it is like it's super exclusive. Only 500 people can get it. And if Vivi does blow up to be one of these massive brands, in the world, and maybe one of the leading NFT platforms in the world, which it already is, but let's just say like, more and more people know about it and all these great things happen from it. I think like it could be huge. And then I think there also could be utility around it as well. So maybe like anybody that has that Vivi logo can meet up in person or get special events with the founders, or who knows, right? Where it goes. But there also could be like exclusive privileges. So we can see like what happens. But yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of the sign. I've got the real one and I had to get the physical. And I think for me, with like none of this would have happened if it wasn't for Vivi. So that's kind of like why I'm a big fan of the sign too. David gave me one at decon. I will keep it anyway. Yeah, good for you, man. Definitely keep that. I mean, put it this way, unless you need liquidity or anything, but I would definitely keep that because, who knows where it goes long term, right? It's only 500 editions. It's a con exclusive. I don't think that they're gonna do more VV signs. Maybe it'd be like a silver one, I think I heard, or like maybe even just like a blue one or something like similar to the one I have behind me. But yeah, I think it's pretty sick to have that. So okay, guys. Well, I just wanted to do a quick live. I'm approaching exactly 1 hour and 3 seconds from now. So I got Getsy in the house. I'll just say what's up. What's up, dude? How are you, man? I was just about to take off. So if you have any final questions, let me know. If there's anything that you're looking at in the market, or anything that you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. I'm happy to kind of take a few more questions and then I'll take off after this. But yeah, it's exciting, man, with the golden moments. Like they're potentially discontinued after this. So this is crazy, right? This is a crazy time to do a live. I'm really happy that, we did that. Yeah, man. You know how many offers I've had on this freaking sign? It's crazy. All Chat Gaming says, what if they get access to land first? What the fuck? VV logo. True. That's a good point. That would be pretty crazy, right? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. I think like the VV sign, like I don't know what it is. I mean, we're not seeing much utility currently. It's all speculation, but let's just say it does happen where there is a lot of utility, then it could be really worth it for us, man. Like like you said, land access or there's so many things that could come from this, and I'm just holding on to it because I was like, well, I've done a lot of like influencing around VV, so I was like hoping that if I hold on to these things, then maybe there'll be like some kind of long-term reward around VV as like if you're holding different it's like just like holding like IP for Disney. Like you're hoping for Disney utility. If you hold a VV IP, you're hoping for maybe VV utility, right? Getsy says, pump for golden moments. I'm going to complete the rest of the golden moments that I'm missing once things calm down in a few weeks. Smart. Yeah, exactly. Wait for the Star Wars stuff to come out and then circle back, right? But the only thing that I'm thinking is like, there's been a few people now that have said since they've just discontinued the series that there might be some added utility. Like, and who knows if that's going to be announced like right after, or maybe it'll be a few months, or maybe it won't happen, but just be mindful of that. Jay Sand says, "Hey Chad, do you still think we can get free access to Disneyland with Walt?" I definitely think it's a possibility. I would never say never. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that like it's guaranteed. I have no idea, but I like to speculate and I like to think. Ask myself, why would Disney give Vivi its most sensitive IP and give us the partner statue, which is in all the Disney theme parks? Like, it just seems a little bit crazy. So I think it's possible that something happens. It's their first ever NFT, so why not make it something so extraordinary? And maybe they're just waiting for the moment, right? Like the right now is not a good moment. It's a bear market. There's a world war. There's well, not a world war. There's a war in Ukraine and Russia. There's a lot of negative things out there. So I think maybe they're just gonna wait till the next hype, to the next boom, and then maybe at that point they'd announce it. So it's stuff we could be looking at a few years, or you can be looking at tomorrow. Who knows where it's gonna go? Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Good collecting out there. Keep it up. Have fun. Good luck, man, on the golden moments. These are big deal. I think it's a huge opportunity. Good luck on that. And yeah, hopefully I like to do like live streams more often. I don't really care how many people are in the chat. I just like to talk with you guys, see your thoughts, kind of explore different possibilities. So just gonna read the last few comments. Bill says still got to get a wall. Probably buy once they announce Millennium Falcon. Nice. Jobs feeling says, in my opinion, golden moments will calm down and drop in a price in a week. Yeah, I think so too, buddy. All right, yeah. Good luck, everybody, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. And I'll probably change the name of this now to be like, oh, let's discuss this new drop. I'm so glad I did this live stream right after without knowing. So this worked out. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And yeah, let's kill these drops and let's just chill and enjoy the long term. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And thanks for all the nice sentiments here, guys. Cool. Great to see you guys too, man. To the moon. Peace. See you guys.